in everyone to this presentation of the PRA Stock Series in the Elite Series on the PRA network. We're hosting a replay of the race from Thursday tonight after we had a little bit of technical difficulties on Thursday night with some recording issues. But we are here to present the race here this beautiful Monday night. Where I am, it's not so nice, but oh well. In this beautiful track here in Watkins, Glen, New York, it is going to be beautiful here. And this race is also going to be awesome. And taking through most of this race, I will still kind of be here in the background. You're probably not going to hear me much as the main man you're going to be listening to tonight. The host of this Elite Series race tonight is going to be Redline. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to him.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Watkins, Glen, New York, where we are here at Watkins Glen International Speedway. The capacity of this track has 38,900 people. It was opened in 1956 to host the first ever NASCAR race. These turns are ranging from 6 to 10 degrees in banking, starting with 11 turns in total, 7 to the right, 4 to the left. This track features mostly ancillary racing and stock car racing. We can see here, as we go through the driving order here, on pole we have Vinny Vanekers with his Ford number 6 with a time of 113.537. Hoodcat, starting his Ford, at number 21, is up in second place. Turismo in his Chevy number 03 starts in third place on the grid. Saraxu in his number 4, and his Ford in number 17 is going to start in fourth position. 81 in his number 80 Toyota will start in fifth position. Luke Man 96 will start in sixth with his number 16 Chevy. KDB Killer in his number 72 Toyota will start in seventh position tonight. Miss Swartz will start in eighth position with his number 24 Chevy. Shifka will start in ninth with his number 49 Toyota. Splash will start in 10th tonight in his number 87 Toyota. We got Millie will start in his 83 Chevy in 11th place. King Saturn will round out the last couple people in his number 97 Ford. With I Am Lost in his number 7 Toyota will start in 13th, and then 14th Kart Racer will start in his Ford number 22. As we see him rounding through turn 9, we'll see him getting ready here, getting lined up side by side for the race to start. Also to note, this track is a 2.5 mile, ranging with fast and short corners, primarily being the short corners through the bus stop. As we see him coming around the corner, ranging, get prepared for those cars to go raging here at Watkins Glen International. Remember, this race is going to be a 40-lap race. We'll see a lot of action here at Watkins Glen. It will be an amazing race. We'll see how it goes as we wait for Vinny Vega to take the green flag here at Watkins Glen. As we are rounding the final corner here at Watkins Glen, they're revving up those cars, ready for a really marvelous race here today at Watkins Glen. Beautiful day for racing. As you see them packing up here. And a boogity, let's go! Watkins Glen Racing here at the Elite Series race. As we see him approaching turn 1, we see him going third wide in the middle of the track. As we see him going, Vinny Vinegar succeeds to Hoodcat in that number 21 machine. We see him now going to go single file line through the S turns here. As we approach the bus stop, which is going to be a big braking zone here, see a big overtaking. As we approach, if we look in the back portion of the pack, we see them, they're still too wide, fighting for position, seeing if they can get around the drivers, and you can notice that they're going to be side by side for a good portion of this first lap. As we see them now, they're going to start settling in, and one off in the grass. One off in the grass, and then they're going to be 3 wide, and the game start number 7, I Am Lost, has hit the wall. I'm sure there'll be a tiling maybe in the race. As you see, Vinny is now taking the P1 and the number 6 valve lane as he rounds out number 10, turn 10 into turn 11 here. As we see farther back of Turismo and 81, they are now jostling, finding the place where they can get ahead of each other, trying to get that in front of each other for P2. As we see them now starting to get in the single file, we can see it farther back. Luke Man and Swartz are now battling it out for that P4. As we see them even farther back, Swartz and Swartz is battling for position here. As Luke Man and Swartz are now battling through the S's. As we see him, Swartzman trying to get past the number 16 of Luke Man, trying to see if he can get that number 4 position. As we see him approaching the bus stop, 81 is now looking around Turismo to see if he can get in front of him. Now as we see him approaching turn number 9, as they approach turn number 9, we see him going through the carousel. Drivers are now trying to see if they can inch past their rivals here. As we see one driver behind, Luke Man, is now got a penalty. That's going to cause some shuffling about. As we see Quincy is now past, tongue twister. But we can see them as they are driving their heart out to see if they can come out on top. Single file now going to turn into lap number 4 here at the 40 lap race at Watkins Glen. Vinny holding a astounding lead here at Watkins Glen, seeing if he can get ahead and put a gap between him and Turismo. Turismo is going to be trying to catch up to Vinny here, see if they can actually get to Vinny and see if they can get past on. 81 is closely behind Turismo, seeing if he can latch onto Turismo, see if he can get up there. Farther back, we see a lot more shuffling between Millie and King Saturn as they are battling it out, see if they can get one place in front of each other, see if they can get closer to the front, hopefully get in good position to get good points here today. As you see now, all the drivers are settling into the groove. Kart Racing and Diff are now side by side in the carousel, and that number 22 is going to try to make it work outside, defending that position. Oh, and there's a lot of shuffling even in front, where Millie is trying to follow the King Saturn. And it works out to they get 2 more positions. Vinny has lost some time here to Turismo up front, and Vinny has got a 0.5 penalty. That must be devastating for him, as now Turismo is going to be gladly sit right and get closer up to Vinny and see if he can get more of time gain here when he gets to serve that penalty at the penalty zone coming out of turn 9 in the carousel. Farther back, we see Swartz and Quincy gunning it for the S-bend as we see them side by side, just looking for position. As we see Swartz going to be on the outside, it's going to be falling back into 6th position. Hold on. As we see Swartz now falling into behind, side by side they go through the carousel, 2 by 2. Now we approach the penalty zone as we check on Vinny up front. Vinny somehow still is now side by side with Turismo. Turismo go for the pass. Down into turn 10. Turismo takes the lead of the race behind with Vinny behind. Turismo is now rounding turn number 11 onto the front straightaway. 81 is going to be right there behind Vinny to make sure he can capitalize on these moments. These two are battling it out. Behind them, with Quincy is now battling for 4th here, as we see him trying to go on the outside, trying to gain that outside movement. Luke Man almost going in for the undercut of Quincy, as we see him now going single file with a choo-choo train down through the S-bends here. Through 2 and 4, turns 2 and 4. As we see him now, they're going to be side by side. Now Swartz is going to try to make sure he gets around Luke Man, and Quincy is trying to defend those positions as he's trying to also attack the person in front of him. As we see here, a lot of cars are still battling it out, trying to get into their settled positions, as we are still early in this race, people. I repeat, we're still early in this race, with Saturn and Millie farther back, trying to make moves on each other. Millie's now falling back a little bit. Now everyone's in a single file. We see Vinny and Turismo up front. And We see Vinny trying to make a move on Turismo, as Turismo is now slipping up slightly, but we see Vinny, he's looking inside, outside, trying to find a move inside or outside. We have no idea, he's trying his best. We see him now, he's got the slip. As we approach turn 1, Vinny is now trying to probably gonna look up inside, probably gonna dive bomb. No, he's gonna stay inside. Try to stay inside, get the slip, get the toe. Now as we approach the S-turns of 2, 3, and 4, Turismo in front, Vinny behind. Vinny is looking in and out, trying to see if he can get things done. We see him now in a 1-2 position here, front and back. We see him approaching the bus stop. Vinny's got to run. Vinny gives up on the run. It's not close enough to make a pass on Turismo as we go through the bus stop. As we check up on the people farther behind, Schwartz end up with a penalty, a 1-second penalty. Lukeman takes the position from Schwartz. Schwartz is now going to have to serve that penalty next lap. As you see Millie also serving a 2.5 penalty in that 83 half lane. Farther back, cars are starting to get more separated. This mid-pack battle is getting spicier by the minute. We see, pardon me guys, hold on for a second. Hoodcat with his number 21 quickline forward getting kind of loose in that last corner in turn number 11. We see Quincy trying to get around Hoodcat as we see him bustling for position. We see him going through the S-bends. ADY is now trying to retain that third position as we see them now going in. Now ADY is being passed by Hoodcat and Quincy. We'll see if ADY can defend the position through the bus stop. The bus stop is going to be a very hazardous place to go 2x2 here as we see Hoodcat and Quincy manage to get the job done. Quincy's still not done with it and gets it done through the carousel. We'll see if ADY has an answer for those two to pass them. As we see him now, he files in behind Quincy and Hoodcat. ADY is now defending from the Lukeman from behind, the number 16 air step batteries. ADY is now going from the outside. Lukeman now going inside, makes a marvelous pass on ADY, making it another one for making ADY go back one spot farther. ADY is trying to answer back on the inside of Lukeman. As we approach turn 1, we see ADY on the inside. Lukeman still has the grip on the outside and prevents ADY from that pass. As we approach the S turns, Lukeman now settling in 5th, trying to catch the 4th and 3rd. You see Hoodcat and Quincy now filing in one after another, seeing if they can, now in the conservation stage of this race. We're seeing drivers now just laying back on that throttle, trying to see if they can get things done in a slower fashion. As we see someone hitting the grass, ADY hit the grass and farther back. As we see, and up front, Vinny Vinnier gets a second penalty and has to serve it, and Turismo once again gets back into the lead of the race. Jostling for position, it's very hard to avoid the penalties here at Watkins Glen International. It must be heartbreaking for Vinny to lose a position such early in the race, but we see Turismo on the front space regaining the lead of the race from Vinny. Vinny's now going to have a lot of time to try to regain on Turismo as we see them here. Now Vinny's going to have to work for that back. As we see, all the drivers are now in one single file line, trying to see if they can make moves and trying to see if they can get things done with the turns. Now back in the S-bends, Turismo with a comfortable lead over Vinny. Vinny is second. Hoodcat is now gaining on Vinny slightly. I have no idea. Quite frankly, I can't see the times. But it seems like Vinny will certainly come back and get Turismo here at the latest. Through turn 9, was probably going to gain a little bit of time here. And we got people off the track in turn 9. The King Saturn with a 0.5 penalty. Schwartz getting off the track, losing position. That causes a lot of jostling farther back in the pack. Kart racing really gathering it up here and passing many people off of that horrible racing incident there at the track. As we now take it to crank it up here at Watkins Glen International. Welcome back. As I come back from Crank It Up, Turismo still in the lead. As we see here, the tires on those cars are now starting to get very worn. As we see starting with Turismo, that front left is now getting shot, with Vinny also having shot tires. As we see with Luke Man with the most shot tires and back in 6. But we see that front tire is going to cause a lot more of these cars. Going to be a lot more understeery through these corners, especially through the bus stop as they exit. For these tires will start wearing, and they'll just plain out lose grip. We'll see if it plays into anyone's strategy here today. As we see, the front pack is now separating themselves from the mid pack and rear. As we see 3 different packs here, with the rear being one, the middle being one, and the front. As you see, all drivers are now half field here at Watkins Glen International. We see Vinny picks up a 1.5 penalty. Vinny now accumulating these penalties left and right. Listen, he can't be making these mistakes here at Watkins Glen. Will really cost him a lot here at Watkins Glen, with that penalty zone being right out of turn 9, the carousel, into turn 10. Being that much penalty will cause that Vinny to lose several spots, if not be caught by the middle pack. As we see, 81 and Luke Man are now coming into the pits, getting more tires, getting to see if they can get more fuel, more tires, see if they have a strategy to work out in their favor. Also, King Saturn also makes out into the into the pit box, see if he can also gain some time, getting new fresh tires on those soft tires. You see him approaching the front pack, approaching the pit bus stop, but also the people who just pitted are now exiting pit box and now entering the track. 81 leading the charge of these 3 new pitted drivers. We see the front 4 actually, more like front 2 if you will. We see Vinny is now serving his penalty. Let's see if Quetzal and Hoodcat can get the pass done, and they do. Side by side, Hoodcat and Quetzy also going to turn 10 into turn 11. Quetzy shuts the door on Hoodcat. Hoodcat looks on the outside, see if he can get the pass done. We see now Quetzy and Vinny are now going into the pits. Turismo also leading them into the pits. This has gotten interesting, everyone. We'll see how the strategies work out today. It's now Turismo also looking to take some more tires, as well as see if 81 also sees if he had the right call to come in earlier with his get tires and gain time on the people up front. Let's see if it works out. Luke Man also following 81, seeing if he could also gain the spots if 81 can. We also see Kart Racing also came into the pit box, getting tires as well, leaving Hoodcat to take out the front, leading the race. We see Diff, Swartz, and and Amelie and the number 72 car going through the carousel in their single file line. Let's see if they all will come into the pit box together as one group. ladies and gentlemen, it's a very fine racing out here today as we see multiple pit strategies going out through today as we almost approach the halfway mark coming up on lap 20. But this is pit stops are going from lap 13 hopefully to lap 15 as we see also Hoodcat goes into the pit box to get tires. As you see Swartz and Millie along with number 72 car go in and get more tires. My bad, it's KTB. My bad, that's on me. And we see Diff takes the lead now of the race with Slugs also following in the number 2 spot with I Am Lost also following in his number 7 in number 3rd in the 3rd position. We see Hoodcat and Quincy also side by side through the S's. As we see Quincy shoots past Hoodcat on the straightaway. Now as they approach the bus stop, we can see Quincy is leading the charge in front of Hoodcat. As we update on the people farther back, Lukeman and Kart Racing get a penalty. Lukeman with a 0.5 and Kart with a 1 second penalty. Man, everyone's getting penalties here today at Watkins Glen. As we see Cartman struggling to get to the S's and the bus stop. As we see him going through the carousel, and now he's going to have to serve a 1 second penalty. Lukeman accumulating another second through the bus stop, as he's going to have to serve that penalty as well. We see King Saturn going past Vinny through the carousel onto the straightaway. We see the King Saturn is also gaining some time on Vinny. We see KTP and Millie also side by side as they approach turn 10. Turn 10, Millie on the inside, KTP on the outside. KTP makes the groove on the outside and shuts the door on Millie, as now Millie has the force now to go behind KTP. As we see, everyone is starting to spread out in less and less action. But we see I Am Lost on shot tires on his front left. He is very shot. Quincy in the background accumulating a 0.5 penalty. As now they approach the carousel into the penalty zone, we see Quincy's going to have to slow down, be forced to slow down here in the penalty zone coming out of turn 9. Okay, now is going to accumulate that position. Let's see if Turismo can also accumulate that position from Quincy. Unlikely, as now Quincy is now into turn 10. As you see, all the drivers now are starting to space out as Millie accumulates a 0.5 second penalty. Diff leading the race now, followed by Slockstrew. I Am Lost, Hoodcat in 4th, Quincy in 5th, Turismo in 6th, 81 in 7th, Lukeman in 8th, Kart Racing in 9th, King Saturn in 10th, Sports in P11th, Vinny in P12th, KTB in P13, and Millie in P14 rounded all out. As you see, now everyone's starting to get in the rhythm. Diff is now still leading the race, still on those shot tires, possibly trying to make it a 1 stop instead of a 2 stop here at Watkins Glen. We can see perhaps that the 1 stop could be actually more beneficial than the 2 stop method, but we will see here towards the end of the race to see who will come out on top here at Watkins Glen. We see Turismo making a move on I Am Lost. Turismo trying to put his nose in there, decides to back out and let I Am Lost in front. As they go through turn 11, Turismo's going to have a run on him. Turismo on the inside, looking to make a move. He's going to fall back, probably in the back behind I Am Lost. No, he's on the bumper of I Am Lost, going into turn 1 as we see Turismo lunges in front of I Am Lost, makes the pass, going towards the S's. Turismo gaining a position into 5th position. See all the drivers still filing in one by one, still gathering a rhythm here at Watkins Glen. This track, I repeat, this track has a tendency to really wear that left front as we've seen on all these cars, and the accumulation of short and long corners here at Watkins Glen really does do in these tires, regardless of how the track is designed. Remember, a lot of these corners have a 6 to 10 degree banking, causing a little bit more weight than a lot of the time when it's normally constantly in front on that front left or on the front right, regardless of what track you're at. But having that degree adds a little bit more than typical road courses on that specific tire here at any road course. But here at Watkins Glen, we can see a little bit more weight is being applied to that front left tire compared to anywhere else here in the United States. As we see Quetsy's following it, getting closer to Hoodcat up front. Quetsy now getting the draft to the S to see if he can get past Hoodcat on the back straightaway towards the bus stop. As we see Slakshu and Turismo also filing, see if they can catch back up to the people up front. Quetsy's now really in the draft. Quetsy's gonna try to make a move in the bus stop. Will he do it? Hoodcat's going to try to defend it off. Quincy backs out. Quincy's now going to file in back again, right behind Hoodcat as they approach the carousel now. As we see him now really closing the distance on Diff, Hoodcat is now really reeling him in, seeing if they can get it done. Turismo gains another position in front of Slakshu and for number P4 and that 03. Farther back, update on the people farther back. Swartz really goes wide on the bus stop and gets a 0.5 penalty here. He's going to have to serve it coming up to the penalty zone. Diff now really losing time to the drivers behind, with him making only 3 seconds slower times. Diff is now going to go defensive on the S's, but decides to give Hoodcat the position. Quincy's trying to get past this lapped car as he now's getting troubled by it. As we see, Diff is going to have to relinquish that position to Quincy. And now, Hoodcat is our new leader of the race at Watkins Glen. Hoodcat on a fast lap as well into the bus stop, as we see him also going towards the carousel for a good point to try to get a good run coming out of turn 9. See Hoodcat now approaching turn 10 here, as he is the new leader of the race. He's up a 10th. See if he can get the fastest lap here at Watkins Glen. Will he do it? As he now is going to be entering and exiting turn 11 now. Is he on the front straight going towards the green flag here at the start-finish line? Will it be a fast lap? It is! It's a 1:13.322 as farther back Diff decides to go in for tires and fuel, followed by I Am Lost. Those two are deciding to come in for tires and get more fuel, see if they can seeing if that one-stop strategy will get them a win of a race. Hoodcat with a phenomenal lead now, leads as he goes into the bus stop here at Watkins Glen. As we see, Diff and I Am Lost are now starting to leave their pit boxes and now is approaching to the exit ramp of the pit lane. As they filter out towards the back portion of the pack, we see a lot more, not much action here at Watkins Glen. Lookman is being pursued by kart racing as they approach the bus stop. Lookman trying to defend it from kart racing. Kart racing is now losing a little bit of time, seeing if he can get up to Lookman and see if he can actually get the pass from P6 here. Trying to gain as much time as he can, trying to make every corner as wide as he can possibly can, see if he can get that time to catch Lookman here. As I take you now to crank it up once again here at the Glen. welcome back. I'm here back towards the bus stop now, as Hoodcat has a 0.5 penalty he's going to have to serve here, as Quincy may gather another position from Hoodcat coming to the penalty zone, approaching turn 10. See, as now the front is now starting to get really spicy here, as we see Quincy might be able to get a position from Hoodcat, as he does as they approach turn 10. Coming out of turn 10 into turn 11, Turismo lurking in the background, trying to gain ever so slightly the time they could possibly get to catch these front two pairing. Quincy is now trying to defend off from Hoodcat. This defensive is probably going to allow Turismo to try to gain up and try to gain that time to be able to up front to gain that first position. We see Turismo ever so slightly getting up to the front of the pack. And so Quincy is now going to have to defend from Hoodcat as they approach the bus stop towards the front, towards the back of the back straight here. Hoodcat has the slip, but opts to stay in the slipstream as they go through the bus stop with the dirty air. As we see them also going through the carousel, Hoodcat trying to get a little bit outside, maybe a little inside, trying to get out of that dirty air that Quincy's generating. On the on the straightaway from between turn 9 and turn 10, Quincy's going to have to defend from Hoodcat. He's right there, lurking right there on the bumper of that number of the 87 Toyota. But we also, Hoodcat got loose into turn 11. Hoodcat is now going to be right there on the bumper of Quincy. As they approach turn 1, we can see him going side by side into turn 1. Quincy on the outside defends from Hoodcat here at Watkins Glen, making a very optimal line. We also see Turismo get in that battle, gains a lot of time through the time that they were battling, and now through the S's, Turismo is right there working. We can see him, Quincy's Hoodcat now going outside, going past Quincy, see if he can go get a good line through the bus stop. They're side by side now. Who's going to give out less? We can see Hoodcat's going to be arriving out on top in front of Quincy. As we go through the carousel now, we see Turismo is now there. Also note, all these drivers are starting to get lower on fuel, as we see him also going to probably have to pit here in a little bit. Slaksu is also now in the pits, getting those hard tires off, opting to stay with the same compound or get out to the harder compound. Well, my correction, I'm bad. He's now on the softs, also with Luke Man also on the softs, fresh softs, now with healed up tank. I Am Lost is now going to be right there with them. Kind of weird with Luke Man and Slaksu kind of integrated in each other, but as they undergraduate, they're going to be side by side as they approach the bus stop here. Luke Man on the inside, Slaksu on the outside, going to the bus stop. I Am Lost also making it more interesting as he capitalizes on the too wide momentum and Slaksu coming on the short-handed portion of the race. 81 also comes into the pits, getting another set of tires and fuel. Hoodcat now still leading the race. Turismo gained a position off of Quincy here at Watkins Glen as we see him go rounding through the carousel here. Hoodcat is now ranging from turn 10 into turn 11, trying to gain more time on Turismo behind. Hoodcat looks like he's going to come in for some more tires and fuel, looks like, and Turismo will follow him, as well as Quincy. The top three are now going into the pit stops to get more fuel and tires. Quite interesting this is. Let's see who will get out of the pit box here the fastest, as we see kart racing is now going to try to gain as much time on these front three to get to the front. Actually, kart racing is now going to come into the pits. We see King Saturn also comes to the pits, as we see a lot more of the people in the race coming into the pits. question is, who's going to exit the pit first? This is quite the enigma. As you see, Hoodcat leads the pit first, followed by Turismo. Quincy also follows Turismo out of the pit box. Vinny's also going to gain a lot of positions as the people exit the pit box. Kart Racing just exited his pit box, relieving the pit lane. Now things have shook up, and Swartz in first place, KTB in second place, and Hoodcat is now in third place, remaining in the top 3 positions. Turismo now in fourth, Quetzi in fifth, Vinny in sixth, Millie in seventh, 81 in eighth. Lookman, accumulating a 1.5 second penalty, is in ninth. Slackshoe is now in 10. I Am Lost is now 11th, King Saturn in 12th, Car Racing in 13th. Question, will Swartz come into the pits now, as you know he's got shot tires? He will now come into the pits, followed with KTB. These two are now going to get 2 fresh pairs of tires. Hoodcat gaining more time, going down the front straightaway. Now he's going to pass the 2 people in the pits, Swartz and KTB. Turismo will also pass Swartz and KTB. Quincy will pass Swartz and KTB. Will Vinny pass them? We have no idea. Vinny passes Swartz and KTB. Millie will pass Swartz and KTB. Swartz and KTB losing several positions in that pit stop, or was it intended? 81 also passes KTB and Swartz. KTB gets in front of Swartz through the pit stop. Hoodcat now entering the bus stop now, as we see now this is your new rounding out the top 10 of your race. Hoodcat in first, Turismo in second, Quincy in third, Benny in fourth, Millie in fifth, 81 in sixth, KTB in seventh, Slakshu and Saraxu in eighth, Swartz in ninth, and I Am Lost in 10th, as now they're side by side going into the pit stop, as I Am Lost is going to capitalize on this moment, gain a position. Lookman follows I Am Lost into gaining another position. The racing in the farther portion of the back, I Am Lost is now going to get Luke Man's not going to make a move on I Am Lost on the outside. Will he make it on? He's now on the back bumper. I Am Lost forces him outside, and he's going to have to take a less optimal line. Lukeman will. Lukeman looking inside, outside, trying to find their way past I Am Lost. Lookman now is going to be in the slip. Will he get the run coming out of turn 11? Lookman following in I Am Lost. Now as they approach turn 1, drivers are now starting to get into a rhythm here at Watkins Glen International. Lookman goes for a pass here on I Am Lost. Swartz also following in. It's going to be a 3-way battle for P9 here at Watkins Glen. Lookman side by side with I Am Lost. Will Swartz make it 3 wide? Going into the bus stop. Swartz is going to be looking outside. It's going to be almost 3 wide going into the bus stop. Swartz gets out. I Am Lost gets out. Lookman takes P9 as they exit the bus stop. Now I Am Lost and Swartz are now going to be side by side. Will King Saturn also capitalize on this moment? I Am Lost is going to give out to Swartz here, coming onto the back straights. King Saturn is also going to be looking inside. King Saturn now is going to come in on the inside of I Am Lost, coming towards turn 10. King Saturn also gains another position on I Am Lost. King Saturn didn't complete that position change. Now I Am Lost is going to be fighting back. King Saturn now back on the inside, now going to coming down on the front straightaway. Let's see, I Am Lost is still battling, jostling for that position. King Saturn gets the run towards turn 1. Will he be able to back down, or will he stay in there? I Am Lost gives up the position, now giving King Saturn the 11th position. Marvelous racing we have here at Watkins Glen, as we see these drivers are truly giving it their all, trying to win here at Watkins Glen International. We see Hoodcat now giving it an optimal win distance here between Turismo. Turismo is trying to gain some time on Hoodcat. Quincy kind of looking in the background, seeing if he can try to get back up there to Hoodcat. Hoodcat now rounding turn 11, making onto the front straightaway. Remind you, there's a couple drivers here at the track who have hard tires. Them being Vinny, who also has got the hard tire compound, followed with Millie. Millie and Vinny have been on a hard compound and decided to stay on the hard compound since last 10. And now, since they're on their hard compound, they seem to be up front a little bit more, but also not have much as grip as those people on the softs do. We see everyone filing into a single file line now, as not much is going on here at Watkins Glen. We see everyone approaching the S corners here, as we see 81 getting another 0.5 penalty, really hurting himself there, shooting himself in the foot there. We see Vinny as he tries to catch Vinny as he going into the bus stop. We see Millie getting passed by KTB. KTB on the inside passes Millie going through the bus stop, making up another position for P6. Everyone going single file through the bus stop. Everyone equally spaced out quite. Luke Bain also with a second penalty is going to have to serve it next lap as they go through the penalty zone. 81 served his penalty, still trying to follow and get a hold of Vinny. 81 is still lurking. Will he get to Vinny here in time to be able to pass him? As you see, everyone's starting to get more scrunched up as we get into the final 10 laps of this race. 81 lurking into the mirror of Vinny here as they approach turn 1, going into the S's. 81 is really closing in the gap on Vinny. See if we can see 81 trying to gain as much time. Is he on the back bumper? He makes a move in the S-bend as he goes on the outside. Does he have the run? Does he have the room? Can he get it done? Vinny closes the door on 81 as now 81 has to have to back into the slipstream here at Watkins Glen. As they approach the bus stop, will 81 go for a move? No, he just goes in and stays into the slipstream, trying to see if he can get another exit. That's going to be phenomenal. KTB looking on 81, seeing if he can get past him for P5. 81 shuts the door on him, and now 81's going to be exiting turn 9. Is now going to be in the slipstream. And as we approach turn 10, we see KTB and 81 trying to work together, possibly, to get past Vinny. 81 on the outside. Vinny squeezes him. 81's now going to have to relinquish slightly since he got squeezed. Vinny is now trying to make it as hard as he can on 81, trying to get past here on the front straightaway. 81's going to have the run here. Will KTB help him? No, KTB falls in line with Vinny. As we see, 81's going to be on the inside. 81 makes the pass here at turn 1. KTB is also going to follow Vinny. Is going to give him a little nudge. Now they touch. They made contact. Now into the S-bend. 81's going to be on the outside of the first S-bend. KTB is going to make a move to fifth position, going towards the second S-bend. 81's going to have a run coming out of the S-bend, possibly in the slipstream behind KTB and Vinny. KTB is now going to try to make a move coming towards the S-bend. Bus stop, correct. KTB makes a move on the inside of the bus stop. Now Vinny is going to have to go back in. We see another play enter there. Slockshrew is now entering the play here. We see KTB is now making a marvelous distance now between Vinny and him. Vinny now trying to hold up 81. Slockshoe is now trying to get past Vinny as well. Vinny is now plummeting through the ranks. 81's going to try to make a move on the entry of turn 10. He's going to dive bomb it. 81 up the inside. He's going to be up side by side with Vinny. Vinny's going to have to go defensive here towards turn 11. 81's now he got loose. 81 got loose. Now we got on the front straight here as we see 81's going to have a run. He's going to go on the outside of Vinny. We see Slockshoe's going to follow into the slipstream as we see 81 approaching turn 1. As we see turn 1, 81's going to be trying to make the move. He's going to beat Vinny to the corner. He's willing to hold on to it. Yes, Swartz going to push Slockshoe right through Vinny. As we see, Slockshoe is now being pushed by his Swartz as we go through the S-bends. And we see Vinny trying to desperately cling on to what he has left. Now it's 3 wide, and now it goes back to 2 wide. As we see, Swartz now is trying to push Slockshoe through the race. As we see Vinny now is going to have to, Swartz is going to have to fall in behind Vinny. Swartz is going to try to go through the bus stop as we see him gather 6th position. As we see now, Swartz is going to be in a single file line. King Saturn also trying to get Swartz by. King Saturn also working, trying to see if he can get past Vinny here with not much to go, with only 6 laps here left to go at Watkins Glen. We see Swartz filing in with the slipstream. Will he make a move coming into turn 10? We have no idea. We see Swartz now back on the back portion of Vinny. We see Slugster going a little wide there in the front. King Saturn's going to make a move on Vinny. Swartz also gets past Vinny. King Saturn's going to make a run through the front straightaway. He's going to beat Vinny through to turn 1 here at Watkins Glen International. We see 81 also acquires a 0.5 penalty for getting off the track too much. Slugster's going to look past 81, trying to get past him, trying to look past him into the S's. We see Slugster's going to get to the inside on the second S. Well, 81 will have the inside of the third S coming through the corners. Slugster, 81's trying to desperately cling on to what he has left still, as they both side by side into the bus stop. Who will have the more balls? Here we got 81 who will come there through the bus stop more. Well, he will still have this penalty to serve. Well, how much will he get hurt through the train of cars that are behind him? Out of this carousel, 81's gonna have to serve this penalty. What's gonna happen? As we see 81 lose 2 positions, is he gonna have to go back into the ray? King Saturn also capitalized on the moment, and that he's gonna be side by side with 81. Will 81 hold on to what position in the P10 that he has? Yes, he will be able to hold on. Will King Saturn get the run out of the P11 or turn 11 into the slipstream? King Saturn goes. 81 trying to desperately cling on to what he has. King Saturn looking on the inside, decides to go into Swartz, trying to get an good exit to catch up to Slugster. King Saturn falling in behind 81 as we see amazing racing here at Watkins Glen. As we take you to crank it up once more for the final time here at Watkins Glen. Welcome back from the short crank it up session here at Watkins Glen. We see Slugster is now going to be side by side through with 81 through the S's through Watkins Glen. 81 is going to be still up front of Slugster, and now King Saturn is going to capitalize on the mistake. King Saturn making it too wide here at Watkins Glen towards the bus stop. Will 81 hold it on for a couple more laps here at Watkins Glen? We have no idea. 81 holds it for the bus stop. It holds P6 for the time being. The King Saturn is going to make another move. He's going to look on the inside through the carousel. King Saturn, they make contact through the carousel at turn 9. King Saturn also coming on the outside. Slugster is going to be looking, falling into the draft. Will they help each other to get past King Saturn? 81 looking on the outside, trying to get on the outside of King Saturn, as then now the single file through the final couple corners of turn 10 and turn 11. 81 trying to get a good run onto the front straightaway, as we see him trying to get good single file action here, trying to get the slipstream, trying to get past each other, trying to get to P6. We can see 81 really trying to get there. We see on 81's car, he makes a dive bomb into turn 1. The King Saturn is going to have to come back with that switchback. 81 ripped them right there to the end. We can see 81's tires getting shot. We see Slugster is now trying to go on the outside of the S-bends, trying to get the good inside line. 81 cuts him off. We see on 81's car, he has very shot tires. Will he be able to hold on for much longer? We see on Slugster's cars, he's got a little bit tire wear left on that car. We see 81 sends it through the bus stop. We see him going past the King Saturn, making it for P6. Regain P6 of the race. King Center is now going to be trying to fight back on 81, trying to see if he can get the position back for P6 here at Watkins Glen International Speedway. We see King Saturn trying to get into the slipstream of 81, trying to get past him. Now he's going through turn 10, now entering turn 11 here shortly. 81 gets out wide, they make more contact. King Saturn is now trying to make a good run, coming out of the turn 11. 81 goes out wide. King Saturn's now on the inside. They're 2x2. Coming down the front straightaway. We see him entering turn 1. Will King Saturn get the job done? Coming out to turn 1. 81 is going to make a switch back. 81 goes back into turn 6, back into P6. As we approach the S-bends, we see King Saturn trying to fall back, trying to get back into the slipstream, trying to gain more time. As we see 81 just going to try to hold on to what he has still left. As we see a new person enters the ring. Vinny, he's back for more. He's trying to gain more positions. Now they're going single file right through the bus stop. As we see him trying to send it, trying to give it everything. As we approach the final, as we are on the green light checker of the final lap of race, or the second to final lap race here at Watkins Glen. As we have 4 drivers contending for 6th position. Anyone's going to try to go defensive. King's going to look on the outside. Sockshoe getting a 0.5 penalty. He's going to be out of this battle for 6th position. 81 really trying to give it all. King gives him a nudge, just trying to get him say, hey man, get out of the way. I'm here to win. King is now going to be gaining the first position of 6th position here at Watkins Glen. We are now on the white flag lap. The leader is now exiting the bus stop here at Watkins Glen. But back to the mid-pack fight. We see Sockshoe now trying to see if he can hold up Vinny. Trying to see if he can hold up Vinny for one last lap to try to get 81 gets the second time penalty. Trying to see if he can get back past King Saturn. That's going to end up hurting him now. We see now it's going to be 4-way. Vinny's going to have to slip drain. Now they're going 2x2 now into the final lap, into the bus stop. As we see now Hookcat's going to get across the front straightaway to win here at Watkins Glen International. Now back into the midfield pack racing. The King Saturn is now going to be in 6th position. 81 is going to follow right behind him now here at Watkins Glen International. Vinny's going to gain another position and another one. He's going to be in 7th. Well, he may gain one more on these fellows here at Watkins Glen. Will King King Center hold off Vinny here for one last time? As we see, as now everyone is going to be settling into the position. As we see, Lookman gets a 1.5 second penalty. As we see him approaching the final corner, as we finish here at Watkins Glen International. The King gaining 6th position. Vinny 7th. Sockshoe 8th. 81 9th. Millie 10th, Lookman 11th, Car Racing finishing out in 12th, and finally wrapping up the race, I Am Lost in 13th position. Well, everyone, that was one hell of a race. We saw much battling here at Watkins Glen International. I hope you had a good one. This was one fantastic race as we see Hoodcat as he takes the win here at Watkins Glen, followed by Turismo and Quincy rounding out your podium 3. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in here at Watkins Glen International. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.